Paramashiva is also called the lotus. The base of the Paramashiva linga is also a lotus, and also in many scriptures and references, the disciple of Paramashiva is also considered as the lotus about to bloom. So offer the gold lotus in any size that you wish and be blessed to have the state, space, and powers and the being of Devi Parashakti in your inner space as you go through, undergo, or are in the midst of any or every adverse situation in your life. The Swarna Padma Pushpa, this golden lotus, costs $600. And once again, at the links provided, you can go ahead and go and register yourself for making this really divine, unique offering to Devi Parashakti.
The next offering we have is that of the Swarna Meti, the golden toe ring. Nakadhiditi samchanna namacchana tamogana padadvaya prabhajala parakrita saroruha. This is from Lalita Sahasranama. Devi, you whose brightness from the toenails destroyed the darkness of ignorance from the minds of your devotees who prostrated your feet. You whose brightness from the 2 feet overpowers even that of the lotus flower. So the golden toe ring offered to Devi Parashakti, about the next slide, where anything that you offer the feet is out of deep gratitude and devotion. So offering of the toe ring to Devi, adorning her sacred feet to be in the space of constant gratitude, receive her blessings for even the most difficult aspects of your life. So offering of Swarna Meti, the golden toe ring, is $750.
Yes, and the next offering is the Swarna Mangtika, the golden hairline jewelry, which is a very traditional Hindu piece of jewelry. In the Lalita Sahasranamam, actually, the Devi is referred as the Shuddha Sarabhi Varshani, means she who makes nectar flow in all of our nerves from the Sahasrara. She gives the very pleasant experience of the ultimate. And the Mangtika represents the nectar flowing from the Sahasrara chakra, which is fully opened. And you can offer this offering, the Mangtika, to Devi Parashakti to experience all the auspicious blessings and the complete with Devi Parashakti. Yes, the next slide, please.
The next offering we have is that of the Pratyaksha Puja, offering of gratitude at the divine lotus feet of Devi Parashakti. Pratyaksha Puja is considered the highest form of worship, offering the Pratyaksha Puja at the divine lotus feet of the Guru. In this case, offering the lotus for the Pratyaksha Puja, Devi Parashakti, manifesting through the Nijavatara of the Supreme Pontiff of Hinduism. The Guru Gita beautifully says, Dhyana Moolam Guru Murti, Puja Moolam Guru Padam. The root of the source and the root and everything, ultimately, the worship, all forms of worship end in offering of the gratitude at the divine lotus feet of Devi Parashakti, divine lotus feet of our beloved. And we have the most important day, which is the Guru Purnima, the most important day for any disciple in the path. Whoever is blessed with the Guru. Purnima is the day where nobody should miss offering the Pratyaksha Puja at the divine lotus feet of our beloved Swamiji. So, offering of the Pratyaksha Puja blesses the Yajaman, all the auspiciousness and the blessings of the Supreme Pontiff of Hinduism, Jagat Guru Mahasannidhanam, His Divine Holiness, Bhagavan Nityananda Paramashiva.
And the next offering is the Vastra Seva. The offering of the Vastra Seva blesses the Yajaman with all of the auspicious blessings of the Supreme Pontiff of Hinduism. Yes, we can go on to the next slide.
So any offering that you choose, you can make choose any of the different offerings that we have, whether you want to choose the lotus or the toe ring or the muktanguti or the meti, the hairline jewelry, the mangtika, or the Pratyaksha Puja or the Vastra Seva. Choose anything. experience a deep feeling connection with the divine. These offerings are just so that you can, how whenever your mother comes home, you'll always like cook something, or you will buy some sari and give, or you'll give something. Just like that, you will have that deep feeling connection. Oh, Devi is coming, I am giving this to Devi. So that deep feeling connection blossom in you. That is why these offerings are there. So experience the deep feeling connection. Whatever you want, even if you just do a $1 sankalpa, it's not about the amount. However you feel connected. Some of us will feel like, oh, I want to give a sari to Devi, or some of us will feel like, I want to give a Mangal Sutra to Devi, or I want to give a metti to Devi. So whatever you feel connected to, you can choose that. So in the next step, we are going to show you how you can register to make these offerings. Now, there are two different scenarios. You really want to make the offering, but today, for whatever reason, you are not able to completely make the offering today itself. You do not have the resources or the finances to make it happen. In that case, you can register in the first form. The registration form does not have any form of payment requirement. You just put your name, you just express your interest. See, I really want to offer this to Devi. See, Devi Parashakti herself revealed in the Akashic reading, just the intention is enough. You don't need anything else. So just have that intention to offer Devi Parashakti, you can fill in the first form. Now, if you are ready to go ahead and make the payment and confirm your offering, you can directly go to the second and the third links. So, which is the tiny.cc/Devi-offerings, where you can go ahead and make the payment and offer the seva to Devi Parashakti. And after making the payment, submit the details for the puja and the names to be chanted, which is tiny.cc/Sankalpa 2021. So you can go ahead and do that. We will now be taking you through a walkthrough of these two links, which is tiny.cc/Devi-offerings and tiny.cc/Sankalpa 2021. So what we are projecting now on the screen is, if you visit the site tiny.cc/Devi-offerings, then you will come to this site where here you are seeing the different offerings. So if you click on the sevas, it will give you a drop-down list, and you can choose what is the seva that you would like to offer. So let's say we choose the Pratyaksha Puja, just for the demonstration purpose. As soon as you choose the offering, immediately below the cost, the amount will appear, and you can click on Add to Cart. When you click on Add to Cart, then in the next page, the cart will show up with the items that you have selected in the cart. Now, if you want to add more items, you can just click the right click and click on back, or you can use the back button in the browser. So let's go back once again, and let's add one more seva. Now, when you click on the back button in the browser, again, you come back to this page, go to the drop down, and let's say this time we want to choose the Sankalpa offering. We choose the Sankalpa offering, and it is only $1. And here you can increase the quantity. Let us say there are 4 people in the family and you want to offer the Sankalpa for all the 4 people. I request NTV operator to please project the screen. Yes, and you can choose 4 and you click on Add to Cart. Now here you can see both the Pratyaksha Puja and the Sankalpa chanting have been added. So you scroll down, you verify the amounts, and you click on Proceed to Checkout. When you click on Proceed to Checkout, it takes us to the next page where you can actually see the billing details. You can see, you can enter your billing details. You can scroll down, then finalize the order, and below that you have an option to enter your credit card details. So we accept Visa, Master, Discovered, different types of cards, and you click on I agree the terms and conditions, and then on the right side bottom you click on place order. this places your order. After you have made the online payment, then you go to the next site, which is tiny.cc/Sankalpa 2021. Now here you click on next. As you click on next, you can agree to the terms and conditions, and then you can enter your payment details. You have just made the order, so you can enter your order number, your payment amount, the payment date. And as you scroll down, you go ahead and enter information about you, your name, phone number, email, and the offerings for you choose Devi Parashakti Akashik reading. Come down, scroll down, and then you click next. In the next page, to choose what is the offering that you have just made. In this case, Pratyaksha Bhara Puja and Sankalpa chanting, and you enter the names of the family members whom you want benefit from the Pratyaksha Bhara Puja. So the first step is tiny.cc/Devi-offerings. Second step, tiny.cc/Sankalpa 2021. That way you can receive, make any offering to Devi Parashakti. And finally, we will also show you how you can make an offering through the YouTube Super Chat. So we will now be projecting to you the YouTube live screen, and how through the YouTube, as you are watching this on YouTube, can go ahead and enter the make an offering of gratitude, make your Dakshina offering just through very simple the YouTube Super Chat. So if you're watching us on YouTube, or even if you're watching us on the other platforms, you can always come to the YouTube live stream, because the YouTube Super Chat option is extremely simple and gives a very easy way to make your offerings, your Guru Dakshina, or the way you want to express your support to Kailasa. I want to make this offering towards Kailasa. Can make that offering. So we will now be projecting to you the YouTube live screen. And in the YouTube live, if you're watching us on the YouTube live, just right beside the live stream, you will see a live chat option. Okay, and below the live chat option, you will see two options, emoticon, and you will see a dollar symbol. And when you click on the dollar symbol, you will see three options. One is an option for you to join the as a member of the channel. One is an option for the YouTube Super Chat. That is an option for YouTube Super Stick Screen. Now, right next to the YouTube Live, you will actually see the chat option, the chat. Below the chat, you will see a emoticon and a dollar symbol. If you click on the dollar symbol, here you are seeing the three options. Let's click on join. When you click on join, it brings up all the different membership options for Swamiji's official YouTube channel. You can have a bronze, silver, gold, platinum, and premium options. Let's just go to bronze and click on join. When you click on join, it opens a pop-up where you can enter your credit card details, you can add your PayPal details, however you want to go ahead and make the purchase, and you can go ahead and finish the purchase. This makes you a member of this channel. All the members of the channel have an exclusive privilege to be able to ask questions directly to Devi Parashakti in the YouTube chat. The YouTube chat is restricted only to the members of the channel. However, we do have Facebook and other platforms which are open for everyone else. You can close this. And let's go back to Super Chat, the second option. When you click on Super Chat, here you will see a pop-up open, and you have an option to enter any message that you want and an offering amount. The offering amount can be $1, $5, $10. Let's just choose $5, the default, and you click on buy and send. When you click on buy and send, it brings up a pop-up, and again you can enter your credit card or a debit card or PayPal details and go ahead and make the purchase. The next option that we have is that of the Super Sticker, which is very similar to Super Chat, where you can make a donation or an offering or a contribution. In this case, you have an animated sticker that is posted on the live chat along with your payment. So there are various different animated stickers based on what you would like to choose. You can choose an animated sticker. Let's choose an animated sticker And along with the sticker, there is an amount, $5. So you make that offering and you say send for. And when you click on that, it says it sends that animated sticker for you, a super sticker. So you make that contribution as a support, as a dakshina, as an offering to Shakti. So these are the different ways you can connect and make an offering to Devi Parashakti. With this, we come to the conclusion of this segment. And in the next segment, we will be seeing how the Supreme Founder of Hinduism has opened up the Kailasas in India to provide the multi-layer quarantine support services, COVID protection and prevention care services. And we'll be sharing about that shortly after a short break.
What I mean by the word e-Kailasa, listen intensely. Enlightenment ecosystem, literally enlightenment itself in your own home, wherever you are. If you cannot come to Kailasa, it's okay. Kailasa can come to you. Kailasa coming to you is e-Kailasa. I will revive Hinduism. I am a Hindu revivalist, not by any revolution, but by evolution. And setting model community. Kailasas, enlightenment ecosystems, Sarvanya Peethas all over the world. All powerful cognition, knowledge, only when you live, power manifestation and possibilities manifestation happens. It's a fundamental truth. Hinduism cannot live exclusively as one sampradaya. No. All sampradayas of Hinduism is an ecosystem. So don't keep quiet thinking that if one sampradaya is attacked, only that sampradaya is going to be affected. All of us are ecosystem. I invite all of you to get involved and enjoy Hinduism by the principle of Dharmo Rakshati Rakshitaha. When you protect Dharma, Dharma protects you. You will make the whole planet flourish spiritually, the spiritual prosperity. Will happen the whole planet Earth. We all have to coexist together. We get you health. We get you ability to build beautiful relationships in your life. We get you direct spiritual support, and we make sure you become wealthy. We won't stop giving you just good life. We will literally not stop till you live enlightened life. Manifesting the state of Paramashiva, space of Paramashiva, powers of Paramashiva, being of Paramashiva. Whole world should become e-Kailashians.
I want the whole world to know Hindus have something great to contribute to the world. We have something great to contribute to the world. Let us do that.
E-Kailasa is proper customized spiritual service helping you to identify your root patterns of suffering. We have perfected the science of helping every individual from every cultural, religious, nationality background. You will have lowest reactionary assumptions, highest awakened response, alive response for life continuously. E-Kailasa is enlightenment ecosystem, literally enlightenment itself in your own home, wherever you are. Proper customized spiritual service helping you to complete with your life negativity, withdrawal from life, self-hatred, self-denial, self-doubt, so much of tiredness, laziness. We can support you aligning your diet, your attitude, your aptitude, your understanding about life. We can help you with everything. If you are interested in enlightenment, we will immediately bring this to you. If you are not interested, we will explain the whole science, inspire you and make you interested in enlightenment science. We need to cater this enlightenment science to the whole world wherever they are, because enlightenment is the birthright of all human beings. Kailasa is responsible to provide that to all human beings. Kailasa is the totality of the knowledge I received from my gurus and practice manifested in my life, perfected by teaching millions of people from all cultures, time zones, backgrounds, genders, nationality, race, from every creed. So this absolutely perfected knowledge available to you, served to you in your home without even you moving out of your couch, free of cost. What I mean by the word e-Kailasa, listen intensely. Enlightenment ecosystem, literally enlightenment itself, in your own home, wherever you are. If you cannot come to Kailasa, it's okay. Kailasa can come to you.
Paramashivoham. Om Nityananda. Paramashivoham. Om Nityananda. Paramashivoham. Om Nityananda. Paramashivoham. Paramashivoham. Om Nityananda. Paramashivoham. Om Nityananda. Paramashivoham. Om Nityananda. Paramashivoham. Nityananda. Paramashivoham. Om 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 Nityananda.
Kailasa coming to you is E-Kailasa.
I will revive Hinduism. I am a Hindu revivalist, not by any revolution, but by evolution. setting model community. Kailasa, enlightenment ecosystems, Sarvanya Peethas all over the world.
All powerful cognition, knowledge, only when you live, power manifestation and possibilities manifestation happens. It's a fundamental truth.
Hinduism cannot live exclusively as one sampradaya. No. All sampradayas of Hinduism is an ecosystem. So don't keep quiet thinking that if one sampradaya is attacked, only that sampradaya is going to be affected. All of us are ecosystem.
I invite all of you to get involved and enjoy Hinduism by the principle of Dharmo Rakshati Rakshitaha. When you protect Dharma, Dharma protects you.
We will make the whole planet flourish spiritually. The spiritual prosperity will happen to the whole planet. We all have to coexist together.
We get you health. We get you ability to build beautiful relationships in your life. We get you direct spiritual support, and we make sure you become wealthy. We won't stop giving you just good life. We will literally not stop till you live enlightened life. Manifesting the state of Paramashiva, space of Paramashiva, powers of Paramashiva, being of Paramashiva. Whole world should become e-Kailashians.
I want the whole world to know Hindus have something great to contribute to the world. We have something great to contribute to the world. Let us do that.
E-Kailasa is proper customized spiritual service helping you to identify your root patterns of suffering. We have perfected the science of helping every individual from every cultural, religious, nationality background. You will have lowest reactionary assumptions, highest awakened response, alive response for life continuously. E-Kailasa is enlightenment ecosystem, literally enlightenment itself in your own home, wherever you are. Proper offer customized spiritual service, helping you to complete with your life negativity. Withdrawal from life, self-hatred, self-denial, self-doubt, so much of tiredness, laziness. We can support you, aligning your diet, your attitude, your aptitude, your understanding about life. We can help you with everything. If you are interested in enlightenment, we will immediately bring this to you. If you are not interested, we will explain the whole science, inspire you and make you interested in enlightenment science. We need to cater this enlightenment science to the whole world wherever they are, because enlightenment is the birthright of all human beings. Kailasa is responsible to provide that to all human beings. Kailasa is the totality of the knowledge I received from my gurus and practice manifested in my life, perfected by teaching millions of people from all cultures, time zones, backgrounds, genders, nationality, race, from every creed. So this absolutely perfected knowledge available to you, served to you in your home without even you moving out of your couch, free of cost. What I mean by the word e-Kailasa, listen intensely. Enlightenment ecosystem, literally enlightenment itself, in your own home, wherever you are. If you cannot come to Kailasa, it's okay. Kailasa can come to you. Kailasa coming to you is e-Kailasa. I will revive Hinduism. I am a Hindu revivalist, not by any revolution, but by evolution. And setting model community. Kailasas, enlightenment ecosystems, Sarvanya Peethas all over the world. All powerful cognition, knowledge, only when you live, power manifestation and possibilities manifestation happens. It's a fundamental truth. Hinduism cannot live exclusively as one sampradaya. No. All sampradayas of Hinduism is an ecosystem.
So don't keep quiet thinking that if one sampradaya is attacked, only that sampradaya is going to be affected. All of us are ecosystem.
I invite all of you to get involved and enjoy Hinduism by the principle of Dharmo Rakshati Rakshitaha. When you protect Dharma, Dharma protects you.
We will make the whole planet flourish spiritually. The spiritual prosperity will happen to the whole planet. We all have to coexist together.
We get you health. We get you ability to build beautiful relationships in your life. We get you direct spiritual support, and we make sure you become wealthy. We won't stop giving you just good life. We will literally not stop till you live enlightened life. Manifesting the state of Paramashiva, space of Paramashiva, powers of Paramashiva, being of Paramashiva. Whole world should become e-Kailashians.
I want the whole world to know Hindus have something great to contribute to the world. We have something great to contribute to the world. Let us do that.
E-Kailasa is proper customized spiritual service helping you to identify your root patterns of suffering.
Yes, Nityanandam. The next segment is going to be about Kailasa's de facto spiritual embassies, the COVID care protection centers. Now let's look at the stats today. The younger adults are more likely to report the symptoms of anxiety or the depressive disorders during the COVID-19 pandemic. If you look at the stats, the age group from 18 to 24 experience 56.2% of them are likely to report symptoms of anxiety and depressive disorder. And the target group between 25 to 49, 48.9% of them are likely to report the symptoms of anxiety or the depressive disorders. You can see here very interesting data where from Jan to June 2019, 11% of them report the symptoms of anxiety disorder or the depressive disorder. While in 2 years' time, during the onset of pandemic, it is 41.1%. Literally threefold increase in number of people reporting the symptoms of anxiety disorder or the depressive disorder. What do the employees feel at the workplace? 34% of them feel they are tired and stressed out. 27% of them feel that they are burnt out. 22% of them feel they are discouraged. 19% of them feel they are distracted. And 17% of them feel they are depressed. COVID-19 is a significant stressor for most of the Americans. Nearly 8 in 10 people say that the corona pandemic is a significant source of stress in their life. Nearly 7 in 10 people say that they have experienced increased stress over the course of the pandemic. 1 in 4 essential workers diagnosed with mental health disorder since the start of the pandemic. More than 60,000 people, 300 of them have died. An estimated 300 to 400 physicians die by suicide every year. Of the health workers who treat patients during China's COVID-19 outbreak, 50% of them showed signs of depression, 45% of them showed the signs of anxiety. Before the onset of pandemic, 15% of the pregnant women were depressed, while during the pandemic, it is 40.7%. Similarly, 29% of the pregnant women reported anxiety symptoms, but 72% US cases of depression have tripled during the COVID-19 pandemic. The number of adults experiencing depression in US has simply tripled. More than 1 in 4 US adults now experience symptoms of depression. Before the pandemic, 8.5% of US adults reported being depressed. That number had taken to 27.8% as the country struggles with COVID-19. Now, let us see how the COVID-19 had impacted on the mental health of the global workers. 78% of them experience pandemic has negatively affected their mental health. 85% of them say that the mental health issues are causing sleep deprivation, poor physical health, reduced happiness at home, strained family relationships, or the isolation from friends. 68% of them would prefer to talk to a robo over their manager about stress and anxiety at work. 76% of the workers believe that their company should be doing more to protect the mental health of the workforce. Now, so far we have seen how every target group, whether it is pregnant women or students or young adults or the working class people, every single group is extremely stressed out and they are experiencing the symptoms of mental disorders and anxiety disorders. Now, let us look into the contributions from Kailasa's Department of Human Services, how they are continuing to contribute more than 26 years positively on all of the target group people. Kailasa's Department of Religion and Worship and the Department of Human Services and each of the Kailasa's temple ecosystems consider the right to happiness to be the highest fundamental right of all the humans, especially all the beings. The ultimate goal for Hinduism and Kailasa, led by the Supreme Pontiff of Hinduism, Jagadguru Mahasannidhanam, His Divine Holiness Swamiji, is the material and the spiritual well-being and prosperity for the humanity. Kailasa is a place where everything related to superconsciousness is revived. All the sampradayas, all the spiritual ecosystems created for enlightenment will be revived and is established in such a way that it never gets lost forever in the humanity. This is from 21st of August 2006, where a meditation program under the sacred banyan tree in Adi Kailasa, where the peacekeepers of Kailasa, along with the children of Nityananda Gurukul, celebrate the auspicious occasion of Deepavali. Peacekeepers of Kailasa and participants of the Paramashivoham meditation workshop that take part in the celebrations of traditional flag hoisting ceremony. This is from 14th of December 2006, the Supreme Pontiff of Hinduism conducting the Nityananda Spurana program, Life Bliss Program Level 2, which is the meditation workshop in Chennai. You can see thousands are gathered to experience the superconscious breakthrough way back in 2006 itself. Similarly, on 17th of December 2006, the Supreme Pontiff of Hinduism conducting the Nityananda Spurana program at St. Peter's Engineering College. This is from 26th of May 2006, where the peacekeepers of Kailasa and the Supreme Pontiff of Hinduism embarked on the Himalayan Yatra, the traditional sacred pilgrimage to Himalayan mountains and up the river Ganga. This is from 20th of December 2011, the temple ecosystem of Tiruvannamalai as a driving factor in maintaining the lifestyle of health, wealth, and well-being for the denizens of Tiruvannamalai, one of the remaining living temple ecosystems. The peacekeepers of Kailasa and the participants of Paramashivoham meditation workshop that take part in the morning meditation and traditional puja or the ritualistic worship. This is from 11th of September 2016, where the peacekeepers of Kailasa, led by the Supreme Pontiff of Hinduism, take part in Kara Seva, the voluntary contribution of physical service towards cleaning or the construction of the sacred Hindu temple. Now, what we are seeing is the various Kailasa's ecosystems around the world. Kailasa in Tiruvannamalai is traditionally passed on the hands of the Supreme Pontiff of Hinduism, Jagadguru Mahasannidhanam, His Divine Holiness Swamiji, in the year 1994. Now, in 2017, the Kailasa in Tiruvannamalai is receiving the visitors and delegates of Kalpataru Meditation Workshop and Shiva Diksha. Now, what you're seeing is the thousands of people arrive to celebrate the enlightenment ecosystems and to traditionally meet the Supreme Pontiff of Hinduism, Jagadguru Mahasannidhanam, His Divine Holiness Swamiji, to meet and receive the blessings from him. This is a picture from Kailasa in Los Angeles, California, a 25,000 square feet temple complex housing 80 plus deities, and it is one of the largest Hindu temples ecosystems of the West. Next, you have Kailasa in Columbus, Ohio, the first ever temple established by the Supreme Pontiff of Hinduism outside India. The temple physically came to life in just 9 months. The chief presiding deities of temple are Sri Nityanandeshwara Paramashiva and Devi Nityanandeshwari Parashakti. The deities are 7 feet tall granite, weighing about 6 tons, and their divine faces have been directly carved by the Supreme Pontiff of Hinduism. Next, what we are seeing is the Kailasa in Seattle, Washington, USA, housing the blissful dancing form of Ganesha and the largest living Nataraja deity outside of India. Kailasa in Seattle is also known as Chidambaram of the West. Next, Kailasa in San Jose, that was inaugurated in 2009, which radiates the energy of Madurai Meenakshi Temple. The chief presiding deities of the temple are Devi Meenakshi, Shivalinga, and the Lord Nityanandeshwara and Devi Nityanandeshwari, which have been created and installed and energized by the Supreme Pontiff of Hinduism himself. Alongside with Shiva Linga and Nityanandeshwara Ganesha, Kailasa in St. Louis carries the energy of Tirumala Tirupati of the South India and houses the tallest Venkateshwara deity in North America, along with his consorts, Sri Devi and Bhudevi. The beautiful landscape nestled among the woods and rolling hills of Missouri stretches for about 20 acres. Next, what you're seeing is the Kailasa in Phoenix, Arizona, which is a home to 21 deities and with a temple structure of 2,500 square feet. Kailasa in Phoenix have been directly established by the Supreme Pontiff of Hinduism, serving as an energy field, workshop, worship, meditation, and celebration for over 7 years. This is from Kailasa in Houston, that was formally inaugurated in 2017, where the Supreme Pontiff of Hinduism has declared Kailasa in Houston as a Parihara Sthala for all the Navagraha doshas. Now we have the Kailasa in Toronto, which was inaugurated in July 2011. The Kailasa in Toronto is the only Hindu temple in the West with 63 Nayanmars and 18 Siddhas residing as deities. The temple deities are seated exactly as the existing should reside in Kailasa around Paramashiva, the primordial deity of Hinduism. Not to miss this, that the Kailasa in Toronto, especially they are active and alive from 2011 onwards, it has been blessed to radiate the super consciousness of Kailasa. This temple ecosystem goes on providing various services to the community, including Annadan and traditional Hindu ceremonies. So next, we're going to have a short break. We're going to see how the spiritual routine that is being practiced in all of these ecosystems are going to be directly benefiting for you to handle yourself during Corona. So we're going to see that segment. Before that, let's have a short break and we'll be right back.
Of helping every individual from every cultural, religious, nationality background. You will have lowest reactionary assumptions, highest awakened response, alive response for life continuously. E-Kailasa is enlightenment ecosystem, literally enlightenment itself in your own home, wherever you are. Proper customized spiritual service helping you to complete with your life negativity. Withdrawal from life, self-hatred, self-denial, self-doubt, so much of tiredness, laziness, we can support you, aligning your diet, your attitude, your aptitude, your understanding about life. We can help you with everything. If you are interested in enlightenment, we will immediately bring this to you. If you are not interested, we will explain the whole science, inspire you and make you interested in enlightenment time. We need to cater this enlightenment science to the whole world wherever they are, because enlightenment is the birthright of all human beings. Kailasa is responsible to provide that to all human beings. Kailasa is the totality of the knowledge I received from my gurus and practice manifested in my life, perfected by teaching millions of people from all cultures, time zones, backgrounds, genders, nationality, race, from every creed. So this absolutely perfected knowledge available to you, served to you in your home, without even you moving out of your couch, free of cost. What I mean by the word e-Kailasa, listen intensely. Enlightenment ecosystem, literally enlightenment itself, in your own home, wherever you are. If you cannot come to Kailasa, it's okay. Kailasa can come to you. Kailasa coming to you is e-Kailasa.
I will revive Hinduism. I am a Hindu revivalist, not by any revolution, but by evolution. And setting model community. Kailasa, enlightenment ecosystems, Sarvanya Peethas all over the world.
All powerful cognition, knowledge, only when you live, power manifestation and possibilities manifestation happens. It's a fundamental truth.
Hinduism cannot live exclusively as one sampradaya. No. All sampradayas of Hinduism is an ecosystem. So don't keep quiet thinking that if one sampradaya is attacked, only that sampradaya is going to be affected. All of us are ecosystem.
I invite all of you to get involved and enjoy Hinduism by the principle of Dharmo Rakshati Rakshitaha. When you protect Dharma, Dharma protects you.
We will make the whole planet flourish spiritually. The spiritual prosperity will happen to the whole planet. We all have to coexist together.
We get you health. We get you ability to build beautiful relationships in your life. We get you direct spiritual support, and we make sure you become wealthy. We won't stop giving you just good life. We will literally not stop till you live enlightened life. Manifesting the state of Paramashiva, space of Paramashiva, powers of Paramashiva, being of Paramashiva. Whole world should become e-Kailasians.
I want the whole world to know Hindus have something great to contribute to the world. We have something great to contribute to the world. Let us do that.
E-Kailasa is proper customized spiritual service helping you to identify your root patterns of suffering. We have perfected the science of helping every individual from every cultural, religious, nationality background. You will have lowest reactionary assumptions, highest awakened response, alive response for life continuously. E-Kailasa is enlightenment ecosystem, literally enlightenment itself in your own home, wherever you are. Proper customized spiritual service helping you to complete with your life negativity, withdrawal from life, self-hatred, self-denial, self-doubt, so much of tiredness, laziness. We can support you aligning your diet, your attitude, your aptitude, your understanding about life. We can help you with everything. If you are interested in enlightenment, we will immediately bring this to you. If you are not interested, we will explain the whole science, inspire you and make you interested in enlightenment time.
Yes. So now let us see the revelations to the world by Devi Parashakti on 12th of May 2021. I came as Nijavatara and I am blessing you. Listen. People, listen. To do good to all of you, I have taken the form of Nityananda and came down as the Nijavatara. The people of India, listen, carefully listen. Time after time, Bharadam is Jnana Bhumi, where enlightened beings come, and we cannot make the Jnana Bhumi as infertile. Enlightened beings have to come. They have to live and it has to flower. Few hypocrites, because they are stuck in delusion, we cannot sacrifice the world. Cosmos cannot be destroyed. The ship I did to save the cosmos from being destroyed, that is called Adi Kailasa. The ship I did to protect beings from Pralaya is Adi Kailasa. Because of the conspiracy of the Drogis and enemies rule, the captain has to leave the ship. Before 12 years, knowing the great deluge that is going to happen, all the Aukshadas, by this Guru Purnima, that Jnana Rasavadam, Navapashana is going to flower, allow people to come and take a dip in Navapashana flower. People, whoever comes and dips in Vaidya Sarovar, they will not have the dip. They will not have corona. Crores and crores of people will come in line. Every day they will come and dip in Ananda Lingam. Listen well to my words. For India, I made the ship as protection. The Nityananda Navapashana Lingam in Vaidya Sarovar. Go to Adi Kailasa. O Indians, listen. All those regretting losing Nityananda Nijavatara without confusion and without talking just as a lip service, go to Adi Kailasa. Crores of people will come there looking for health, Navapashana, water feast and medicine to get health and protection and enlightenment, to protect India from great destruction. I, Parashakti, made this huge ship. Even if the captain of the ship is not there, ship is there. So when the first world countries closed the borders during a massive global emergency, it is Kailasa who has opened its door to one and all without exception. Now let's look into the morning spiritual routine. The morning spiritual routine is the fuel to reach Kailasa. Morning routine and the chemical changes it brings in you and the healing it does in your system and biological rhythm it sets in your system, all of them are very important. It is an important fuel for you to experience the multiple dimensions of the universe. The spiritual routine and integrity to spiritual routine initiations are completely private, personal between you and me. Members of Kailasa's Preventive Protection Multi-Layered Quarantine Initiative take part every day in morning spiritual routine here in Adi Kailasa Satanipita. The morning spiritual routine consists of Nityananda Yoga, Panchakriya, Nitya Pratyaksha Paduka Puja, Kashayam, and Nitya Satsang.
Members of Kailasa's
Protective
Preventive Multi-Layered Quarantine
spiritual practices because the chemistry you enjoy inside matters. That decides the plane of the universe, dimension of the universe you're going to experience, Kailasa or Patala, Swarga or Naraka. Morning spiritual routine is a direct path to Kailasa. The person who is in love with me will wait to spend with the beloved. If you are a seeker, you will be waiting for these 5 hours every day because that is the time you get near what you're seeking for. The person who's in love will be waiting to spend time with the beloved. A person who will be seeking will be waiting to spend this 4 hours because this is the time you get closest to what you're seeking. Your seeking takes the shape in your system. When your beloved comes near you, if you're tired, the love is gone, dead. During the morning, 4 hours, if you're bored, your seeking is dead, gone. You need thorough overhauling inside you. You need to ask yourself, you need to question many of your answers. You need to bring pure listening back to life. When you do yoga, you experience your entire body, becoming Amrita Sharira, which means the body that is filled with nectar. It becomes an ecstatic body just by the air without any external touch. What is Panchakriya? Panchakriya involves 5 powerful processes to remove the toxins and impurities from the system. Just like how we take a shower every day to clean the external parts of the body, Panchakriya is a powerful cleansing process which cleanses the internal organs of the body, keeping it cool. The techniques are not only to cleanse our body, but to bring the peace and balance to our mind and lightness and bliss to our being.
The next is puja. In puja, you experience the space of bhakti, devotion, the space of surrender that occurs to you from this devotion moves you from the I, which is so heavy, to God or Guru. This surrender allows us to drop all the unnecessary baggage from the head. One of the beautiful pujas in Hinduism is Rudrabhishekam. In Rudrabhishekam, we offer sacred bath to a Shivalinga while chanting powerful mantras. The Shivalinga is a deity which beautifully represents the divine. Its form indicates how God is beyond form and formless. In puja, you sit down and connect with God by performing Rudravishekam, where you say, O Sadashiva, O God, I know you are source of everything, you are everything, and you are in this Shivalinga, and you are in this body. Let me connect with me. Let you reveal yourself to me. When we sit in that bhava, when we sit with that context and do the action of Rudrabhishekam, we experience bhava samadhi. Only bhava samadhi can give us the higher taste and higher joy in life. Rudra Abhishekam is a beautiful ritual which allows us to experience the bhava samadhi of Shivoham, I am the divine. The morning spiritual routine is for manifesting Shaktis, spiritual powers of the morning routine. If you just follow this morning 5 hours, it's enough. You will have Vak Shakti, all the Shaktis manifesting in you, because all the obstacles for manifesting Shaktis, tiredness, boredom, pitta, fatigue, everything will be churned out in that morning 5 hours. The morning puja is the most powerful mandala process, Shaktipada, melting your being and then sitting and listening to the sacred truths, constantly inspiring, engaging, alive, awakening. Just this morning 5 hours, if one can bring integrity and authenticity, all the obstacles stopping one from power manifestation will disappear. You can perform and all the spiritual practices by yourself, like the morning yoga and Nitya Puja. But there will always be the risk of losing your initial inspiration and excitement after a few days or after a few weeks. Living in the enlightenment ecosystem, even if your boredom or tiredness try to pull you down, the Sangha will support you, help you by giving the wake-up call and supporting you to complete your incantations. In Sanatana Hindu Dharma, we have at least 10,000 sampradayas, religious, spiritual traditions keeping this enlightenment science alive. Each Hindu sampradaya is a spiritual ecosystem created for keeping enlightenment science alive. Every monastery, every adinam, every monk, every temple, every Veda Pathshala, every Sarvanipita is a lineage, sampradaya, created to keep the ecosystem of spiritual enlightenment alive. Some may be Shakta, some may be Yoga, some may be Vedanta, some may be Tantra, some may be Shakta Vedanta, some may be Shaiva Tantra, some may be Yoga Vedanta, some may be Yoga Shaiva, some may be Vaidika Shaiva. All kinds of permutations, combinations exist. Each temple, each mutt, each monastery, each adinam, each Veda Pathshala, each sannyas sampradaya is a spiritual ecosystem created to keep the enlightenment science alive of that sampradaya. So, if you want to register yourself, join the COVID Care Protection Center. Register now through the link https://kailasa.org/kailasacare. Let's take a few minutes now to register in this link.
Paramashivoham. Om Nityananda Paramashivoham. Om Nityananda Paramashivoham. Om Nityananda Paramashivoham. Nityananda Paramashivoham. Om 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 Nityananda Paramashivoham. Nityananda Paramashivoham. Om 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 Nityananda Paramashivoham.
to cater this enlightenment signs to the whole world wherever they are. Because enlightenment is the birthright of all human beings. Kailasa is responsible to provide that to all human beings. Kailasa is the totality of the knowledge I received from my gurus and practice manifested in my life, perfected by teaching millions of people from all cultures, time zones, backgrounds, genders, nationality, race, from every creed. So this absolutely perfected knowledge available to you, served to you in your home without even you moving out of your couch, free of cost. What I mean by the word ego.
Welcome back. So here are a few glimpses of the spiritual routine in the Adi Kailasa Sarvajna Peetham. Here one can see the members who have enrolled themselves for the COVID care protection centers, doing their morning spiritual routine right from the yoga, puja, and the first 5 hours, the start of the day, which is the most fundamental and vital practice for any seeker, anyone on the path to achieve enlightenment, to achieve the ultimate superconscious space of Paramashivoham. Further glimpses of the spiritual routine. Across various segments of the multi-layered quarantine facility in the de facto spiritual embassy of Kailasa in Adi Kailasa Sarvajna Peetham, various members during the quarantine facility and post the quarantine facility, after their quarantine period of 15 days is over, in various places across the campus, the morning spiritual routine being followed. And that gives just one more of the many reasons why one should avail of this COVID Care Protection Center facility, which is open across all the de facto spiritual embassies of Kailasa across India, specifically in the Adi Kailasa Sarvajna Peetham, is what glimpses you just saw. So if you want to avail of this, register now through the link https://kailasa.org/kailasa-care. Let's take a few minutes now to register with this link, and then we will move into the next segment, specifically in observance and awareness of this month of July, being the awareness month for persecution. The Persecution Awareness Month. Let us understand more about that in the following segment.
Nityananda Paramashivoham. Om Nityananda Paramashivoham.
Nityanandam, welcome back to all of the viewers who are gathering with us from all over the world for today's Devi Parashakti Akashik reading program. I am 100% sure that so far all of you who have joined us have been absolutely enriched by the sacred higher principles that Devi Parashakti is bringing each and every one of us through the Supreme Pontiff of Hinduism, Jagadguru Mahasannidhanam, His Divine Holiness, Bhagavan Nityananda Paramashivam. And also, after having heard the divine revelations of the Supreme Pontiff of Hinduism, of Devi Parashakti herself, and then having heard the update from Adi Kailasa administrators who had literally are on the grounds right now for the Kailasa COVID care centers across India. And we just heard from Ma Nitya Achalananda Swami and Ma Nitya Pranapriyananda, sannyasis of the Sovereign Order of Kailasa, who had literally who are on the ground and continuously helping making the Kailasa COVID care centers in India happen with the diligent guidance of the Supreme Pontiff of Hinduism. And literally every day, so many people have been sharing how they are after they have come to the Kailasa COVID care centers, how literally their life has been uplifted, how they feel so protected, how literally with the spiritual benefit and the living in the spiritual energy center, it is like a new transformation, a new life for them, where they're not even able to see, are not even able to see the difference between pralaya or there is a pralaya going on. They're even forgetting the fact that so much is going on the outside. I highly encourage each and every one of you to follow the links in the scroll below and in all of the different social media platforms and the Facebook page for the information on the Kailasa COVID care centers, for the multi-layer quarantine that has been opened up by the Supreme Pontiff of Hinduism. Really one of the most generous, compassionate things that the Supreme Pontiff of Hinduism is doing. While all countries are closing doors on Indians and even on countries that are afraid of a second wave, third wave happening for the COVID pandemic, the Supreme Pontiff of Hinduism is opening up the multi-layer quarantine centers where this is possible and people can protect their lives and stay safe during these really, really tense times that we're seeing. And now we are entering into the next segment of today's program, the presentation for the persecution of the Hindu Holocaust, as well as the persecution of the Supreme Pontiff of Hinduism. For the last 700 to 1,000 years, Hindus have seen literally the most brutal history known to mankind. But why do we not know this? And why aren't we talking about it? In some places, Hindus are even denying that a Hindu Holocaust is happening and that has happened in our past. Now, we have to really be clear and understand that our wealth, our great background, our stable families, and all of the good things that have happened to us is because of the Shastras of Sanatana Hindu Dharma, because of the great revelations by Paramashiva, that much of which have been entirely lost, but fundamentally has been safeguarded by the Guru Parampara lineage from Sanatana Hindu Dharma, and from which we benefit today in so many different ways. However, we Hindus across the world should not be blinded by how we might be prosperous in certain parts of the country, in certain parts of the world, but see what is going on at home with so many people being, so many of the Hindu nations slowly degrading, slowly literally dying and losing more and more stability. And the population of Hindus in Hindu countries, in countries that were once Hindu, is literally decreasing by drastic percentages, by drastic rate. we have to see the reality of this. If you, like me, grew up in the United States and you are not seeing with your own eyes how Hindus are being literally killed, being mass converted, and literally seeing the worst type of violence that is happening on a large scale, then please be aware that the Hinduism is not in its perfect stature that we all think it is. Just because we're living in a bubble of our own Hindu ecosystems with Kasi Hindu procedures and practices, it's not even 1% of the Hindu sacred scriptures revived and available for us today. Let us not be in an illusion that Hinduism is alive and well. It's not. We have to see the reality as it is. And every single day through this program, exactly at this time every day during the program, we have been trying to share with all of the viewers what has been happening in the Hindu Holocaust and what has been happening in the persecution against the Supreme Pontiff of Hinduism. We must understand that what has happened in just the last 27 years against the Supreme Pontiff of Hinduism, what has stopped him and literally in so many different ways tried to minimize, eliminate, tried to even assassinate the Supreme Pontiff of Hinduism, has been happening for the last 1,000 years. And literally the hologram of what has happened in the Hindu Holocaust is what has happened to the Supreme Pontiff of Hinduism. If we are seeing the number of attacks, whether it is incessant lawfare, whether it is the 70 plus assassination attempts against the Supreme Pontiff of Hinduism on his very life and person, or whether it is the brutal destruction of all of the Adinams, the ancient indigenous kingdoms which he has revived, or the lawfare in the media trials that he has been through, the extremely hateful smear campaigns by anti-Hindu militant forces and the media which they own. It is an extremely clear case which we can see, clear example of how they're trying to destroy Hinduism. Today, we are not even able to have one Hindu nation in the world. And across the world, in all of the Hindu countries, whether it is India itself, or in Malaysia, or in Singapore, in Pakistan, in Afghanistan, in Bangladesh. Now, these are countries, these are lands which were originally Hindu, which had large Hindu presences, which had Hindu temples, Hindu ecosystems, which had so many Hindus living there. But today, what is the status? How are we even seeing Hindus, and are they on the run, afraid for their lives, being attacked every single day in each and every one of these countries? Even the land where it's originated, India itself, Hindus are under brutal attack. We are seeing every day the Hindus are literally diminishing in population in all of the countries that were once proudly Hindu, and all of the nations, the deshas, which were once proudly, celebratory Hindu and living the Hindu lifestyle and the Hindu civilization. We were at 1.56 nations across the world. And from Afghanistan until Cambodia, we had so many temples, so many Hindu civilizations. They were thriving with the most advanced technology that was available to humankind. And that even now we're not able to decipher, understand how they would have been able to do such precise examinations of the whole universe and of the human body at the same time. And yet somehow Hindus had done it, had lived it, and it has been criminally made invisible to the world, and criminally oppressed to the whole world. In this segment in today's program, we'd like to present today about how we have slowly lost all legitimacy for Hinduism. And the Supreme Pontiff of Hinduism is the only hope to see the Hindus have and enjoy political, social, legal, and so many different legitimacies in the world. We have not been able to enjoy even political legitimacy, not even being able to have a nation for ourselves. How did we come down to this? What has happened is what we'd like to present to each and every one of you today. Now, before we move on and dive into today's subject on the Hindu Holocaust and the persecution of the Supreme Pontiff of Hinduism, I invite, encourage, and plead all of the viewers, please go to the link provided down below, where the United Nations has recognized the persecution that is ongoing against the Supreme Pontiff of Hinduism and the women, Hindu sannyasis, and all of the women of the Sovereign Order of Kailasa. You can see how the Human Rights Commission, amongst a list of persecuted communities and their individual reports on the crimes done against them and the denial of the human rights done on them, is listed Kailasa among them. Please go to the link provided and please do take a few minutes to go through the report that is recognized by the United Nations, and please share this with everyone that you know. This is the time that all of us Hindus across the world should be sharing and sharing that all of us are taking action. Now, as we are going into today's segment, let us just take a few minutes now. Please share the link below with everyone you can, and let us not stop with just our family and friends. Let's go the next step. Think of different creative ways that you can share the message. This is a really amazing thing that has happened, that has literally broken through years of negligence, of not being able to tell our story to the whole world, to the international audience, of people who are listening to the cries of victims of so many different crimes against humanity. So please share this, take a few minutes, and let's share. We'll be right back with you in just a few minutes.
Shivoham परमशिवोऽहम् ॐ नित्यानन्द 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 परमशिवोऽहम्
Share with you the history of the history. Now let us see before the external entities persecuted Hindus, the forces within who carried out a kind of ethnic cleansing. They included Manthan King Bimbisara, Mahapadmananda, and Peace Emperor Ashoka of the Mauryan Empire. The kings who persecuted the non-Hindus. The first recorded foreign invasion of India was from King Darius I of Achaemenid Empire in 1515 BC, that of expanding the borders of his empire. The most famous recorded foreign invasion the Alexander of Macedonia in 326 BCE, both rulers are known to have unleashed ruthless and bloody campaign, killing and enslaving the people on court. We are unable to hear you. So Rashidbhai, can you check your audio?
Yes, we're going to be understanding the Hindu Holocaust as a clear-cut chronicle. Now, we have recognized at least three pillars of Sanatana Hindu Dharma: temples, Gurukul, and Guru. Now, the entire Hindu Holocaust has been a systematic destruction of all three of these pillars. 1,300 years of Islamic invasion and rule, and a failed attempt at Islamicizing Bharata, which was India.
The brute force of strategy that the fear was kept as the key. Forceful conversions, documented massacres, demolition and desecration of temples, the use of brute force strategy on non-Muslims, the Hindu women forced into jihad, practice of self-immolation to avoid capture and dishonor to save their own honor.
Now, in the first pillar, iconoclasm, destruction and loot of temples. Hindu temples are the world famous for their enormous wealth, land, and matchless deities and artifacts. They were the center of the spiritual, social, and cultural and economic activities, and they were the livelihood of many of the communities, sustained them for many generations. Destruction of a Hindu temple meant the destruction of an entire ecosystem which was dependent on it, which it was surrounded by. Here we can see the UNESCO cultural heritage site, the Brihadishwara temple. And not only that, the largest concrete structure that was built in the oldest time in the world.
India's 1,000-year-old best preserved temple, built as per the Agama Shastra, sacred Hindu scripture on the temple architecture. Here you can see the iconoclasm. The Hindu temples are the target of the invaders. Ancient Hindu temples are built to last for eternity. They would have, but for the marauding Islamic invaders.
Now, what we're seeing today, the handful of temples that we are having, is the magnificence that has survived the persecution, such as the Virupaksha temple in Hampi, the Kamakya temple in in Guwahati, in the Kedarnath temple in Uttarakhand, Meenakshi temple in Madurai, the Ranganatha Swami temple in Srirangam, and the Brihadishwara temple in Tanjavur.
The Somnath temple of Gujarat, an icon of the past. The Somnath temple of Gujarat was destroyed and rebuilt 17 times. The Somnath temple on the right, picture that you see, is the temple as it stands today, in Chaulukyan style of architecture and completed in 1951 under the astute leadership of the then Prime Minister Sardar Vallabhbhai Patel.
Islamic precepts abhor idolatry. And this was a reason enough to incite the repeated waves of Islamic invaders to target very wealthy Hindu temples. Parts and all of the Hindu temples in those parts of the Indian subcontinent. Their religious texts specifically describe how figures were to be mutilated, and remains in the temples clearly show figurines with their breasts, hands, and their and chopped off and faces disfigured. Here you can see Lord Shiva and Parvati figurines with their hands chopped off and their faces disfigured.
The temple plunder of the south by Malik Kafur. Malik Kafur's campaign of the Deccan from 1308 to 1311 CE were specifically to plunder the enormous wealth temples here. Temples plundered included the Meenakshi temple in Madurai, the Ranganatha Swami temple, Sri Rangam, the Hoilasreshwara, Hosaleshwara temple in Alavedu, and the Kakatiya Shiva temples of Warangal. Next, we are seeing the Amir Timur's plunder of Delhi in 1398. Before the battle for Delhi, Amir Timur executed 100,000 captives. Said that Timur's soldiers left the city reeking of decomposing bodies with their heads being erected like structures and the bodies left as food for the birds. Said that the river Yamuna flowed blood, thousands of bodies thrown into her after the massacre. Most disheartening part of this is even Hindus are unaware of brutal massacre, genocide that was done to us. So that is the reason why Kailasa, taking the responsibility, is observing Hindu Holocaust month, July 2021, bring out to the world huge massacre, genocide, persecution the Hindus have been subject.
And here we have one of the symbols of India, the Taj Mahal, which actually was the Tejo Mahalaya. It was a Lord Shiva's palace built in 1155 AD. Here we have a couple of points that straighten out the story of the Tejo Mahalaya. Shah Jahan did not build the Taj Mahal. He usurped it from its original owner, the Maharaja of Jaipur, Jai Singh. He looted and plundered its immense treasures to fund his many military campaigns, and the Taj cannot be called a Mahal. It is shown as a Muslim gravesite, indicating its true antiquity. Shah Jahan's own memoir of Shahnameh gives no accounts of construction of the Taj.
And Dr. P.N. Oak, who wrote Truth About the Taj, not even allowed to publish the book. Thanks to the internet, his initial work has now been backed by other scholars. The government of India yet continues to dupe the world as the Taj is the biggest and it is its biggest tourist attraction.
When Aurangzeb massacred 150,000 Hindu Brahmins and their families in Banaras, Ganga Ghat, Haridwar, he made a mountain of skulls of the Brahmins and the children, which were visible from 10 miles away. Aurangzeb was gone on record saying making a pile of Brahmin Jenu, means the holy thread, and making a bonfire of it. So the holy thread, the Bavitam that Brahmins wear, he discarded that and made a pile of it after decapitating the innocent Hindu Brahmins who refused to convert to Islam.
The brute force strategy. See some of the images of Islamic brutality on videos. These images speak for themselves. Impaling heads on sticks, executions, Sikh gurus, Sikhism, the gurus of Sikhism, tortured execution, jizya tax levied, forced conversions, boiling people to death, peeling people's skin and forcing them to death, and what can't even describe the torture that has been done in the Islamic invasion.
And royal women were forced to indulge in jauhar, means self-immolation, to avoid the rape of their dead bodies. The huge protests by Rajput communities against against the film Padmavati in 2018 was because it made mockery of the sacred tradition of Jauhar, where the women were defined as goddesses for Jauhar, committed to save their chastity, honor, and dignity of the Hindu womanhood, in this case, Rani Padmavati of Chittor.
The fall of Chittor became imminent in 1567 to 68 under the command of Akbar. Royal committed Jauhar in 3 places. Jauhar is a brave act by the DNA, because the Hindu DNA carries the code, secret, the secret knowledge, that their bodies to be touched by the Islamic invaders, and that is why the Hindu women bravely went into the fire and immolated themselves to preserve the DNA the hands of the ruthless Muslim invaders. The Mughal ruler Akbar, as many of us think, is not it. Let us look at some of King Akbar's tyranny. Siege of Chittor from 1566 to 67. The Hindu royal Jauhar in 3 places of the 40,000 Hindus were captured, many were butchered. Artisans were spared for selfish reasons. They were whisked away for their artistry to be used in his building projects. The brave Hindu general Emu Vikramaditya was beheaded after the Second Battle of Panipat. Emu's father was captured and beheaded when he refused to convert to Islam. Many of the captured pillar of his heads were built. This feat was repeated by his son Jahangir. Akbar's harem had at least 5,000 women, which included conquered women from his conquest who became slaves, concubines, etc. He acquired 300 wives by a process called Mutta, where a woman was made wife by mutual agreement for a limited period of time, sometimes as short as a one-night stand. History of Hindu genocide. The massacre of Srirangam, 1323, killed 12,000 Hindu settlers. The Bengal massacre by Firoz Shah Tughlaq, 1853, 180,000 Hindus were killed. Massacre around Vijayanagara in 1366, 500,000 Hindus. The Battle of Patna massacre, the execution of slaves by Indian captors. The massacre of Dhaka in 1560, 58,000 peasants and butchers. The siege of Chittorgarh in 1568, 30,000 Hindus. The massacres by the Nadir Shah in 1730, 300,000 Hindus. Massacres after the Battle of Panipat in 1761, 40,000 to 70,000 soldiers were massacred. And finally, Punjab massacre, 1763, estimated 25,000, 30,006. Now, Irfan Hussain, in his article, The Demons from the Past, observes, while Historic events should be judged in the context of their times. It cannot be denied that even in that bloody period of history, no mercy was shown to him. Unfortunate enough, in the path of either the Arab conquest of Sindh or South Punjab or the Central Asians who swept in from Afghanistan. Their temples were razed, their idols smashed, their men raped, their men killed, taken slaves. As he entered Somnath, on one of his annual raids, he slaughtered 50,000 inhabitants. Aibak killed and enslaved hundreds of thousands. The list of horrors is long and painful. His conquerors justified their deeds by claiming it's their religious duty to smite non-believers. Cloaking themselves in the banner of Islam, they claimed they were fighting for their faith, while in reality they were indulging straightforward slaughter of Hindus. The Persian historian Wasaf writes in his book Taziyat-ul-Zar wa Tajriyat-ul-Asar that when Alauddin Khilji captured the city of Bayan at the head of Gulf campaign, he killed the adult male inhabitants for the Islam, set flowing that sent the women of the gold, silver, and jewels to his own home, paid about 20,000 Hindu maidens as private slaves. Khilji once asked his spiritual advisor or Qazi as to was the Islamic law prescribed for the Hindus. Qazi, Hindus are like mud. Silver is demanded from them. They must, with the greatest humility, offer desires to spit to a Hindu's mouth. Hindu should open it wide for dogs. Or created the Hindus to be slaves of Europeans. Prophet had ordained the Hindus who do not accept Islam should be imprisoned, tortured, finally death, their property confiscated.
Just like this, an entire civilization was enslaved by the Mughal invaders.
Here you can see the execution of Banda Bahadur and Bhai Mati Das. Banda Bahadur was tortured to death after being imprisoned for 3 months. The heart of Banda Singh's son was put in his mouth and attempted to humiliate him. The sacrifice of Bhai Mati Das for the Sikh faith being brutally killed by the Mughals. This image is from a Sikh history museum. You can see how his body is being cut. Banda Bahadur tortured. His eyes gouged, skin before he was executed. The reign of the ruler Abdus Samad Khan.
And Aurangzeb had the horrifying torture and execution of Guru Tegh Bahadur. Here you can see disciple Bhai Sati Das was wrapped in cotton wool and burned to the death before Guru Tegh Bahadur. And the execution and martyrdom of the 9th Sikh Guru, Guru Tegh Bahadur, while sitting under a banyan tree near the Kotwali in Delhi. And Guru Tegh Bahadur's disciple Bhai Diyala Das was boiled to death to psychologically break his guru. A third disciple, Bhai Mati Das, was sawn into pieces.
Next, let's see the Aurangzeb's horrifying torture and execution of Chhatrapati Sambhaji Bhosle of the Maratha Kingdom. 1689, the second Maratha Chhatrapati, the King Sambhaji, was brutally executed by Aurangzeb. Maratha accounts state that he was ordered to go with Aurangzeb and convert to Islam, and he refused to do so by saying he would not accept Islam even the day the emperor presented him his daughter's hand that led to his death. So by doing so, he earned the title of Dharmavir, the protector of Dharma. Aurangzeb ordered Sambhaji to be tortured to death. The process took over a fortnight and included plucking out his eyes and tongue, pulling out his nails and skin. Sambhaji was finally killed on the 11th of March 1869 by tearing him apart, front to the back, with metal tiger claws, beheading with an axe at Kolhapur, the banks of the Bhima River. Even to read the ways and the great Chhatrapati skill, can't even read the description, forget about it. This was how it were massacred and of the Islamic empires.
Now, the genocide of the Adi-Shaivite community in Kashmir is one of the most brutal persecutions, most absolutely shocking genocides that has happened. When an iconic temple destroyed by Sikandar Bushtikan was the 8th century Martanda Sen temple, and then in the 1990s, the Kashmir genocide was the ethnic cleansing of the minority, the Trika Shaivite community, also known as the Kashmir Pandits or the Hindu scholars. Here we can see some really horrifying images of the deaths of the children of the Hindu Pandits, the Kashmir Pandits.
The question is, how did Hinduism survive despite the rooted Islamic persecution of 1300 years? Saga of Naga Sadhus. It is the Naga Sadhus, the Dharma Rakshak Akhadas, who kept Islam alive. The Sadhus. Naked Hindu monks, organized under akhadas, the epics bodies of Hinduism, emerged as small bands of fierce spiritual warriors, dharma rakshaks, victors of dharma, who equipped themselves powerfully to defend Hinduism's tenets of tolerance and harmony. They became shastradharis, armed with weapons, as also shastradharis. They became shastradharis, armed with weapons, as also shastradharis, armed with the knowledge of the sacred Hindu scriptures, and were mainly responsible for Hinduism continuing to be a powerful force despite such ruthless destruction for 1300 years.
And we can see here some of the Naga sadhus, the Dharma Rakshak Akhadas who kept the Hinduism alive, and the most notable example. Kapila Muni was the founder of the earliest Akhada, the Mahanirvani Peetham. Adi Shankaracharya, who reorganized the Akhadas in the 8th century CE, and of course the Supreme Pontiff of Hinduism, is the 1008th Mahamandaleshwar of the Mahanirvani Akhada.
Let us now take a look at the great sacrifice of the Naga sadhus of Hinduism, because of which is alive today. Aurangzeb's standing rule lasted 49 years from 1658 to 1707 CE until his death. During this long reign, he created havoc in the lives of majority population, destroyed and looted many temples. Mosques were built in its place, and the temples were converted. At the Kashi Vishwanath temple, Naga sadhus jumped into a nearby well, along with the main deity, the Parashakti Linga, to save it. destruction and desecration by Aurangzeb's armies. Many years later, this deity re-emerged and was reconsecrated in the Kashi Vishwanath temple. Naga sadhus fiercely protected the Shaivite temples with complete annihilation, and thousands died fighting us.
Now, understand the impact that this had on temple communities. The destruction of temples meant the dispersion as well as the destruction of the temple-based communities, such as the stapatis, the knowledgeable temple architects, the priests, the Rudrakanyas, the dancers, the singers, the musicians, the painters, and several others whose life was sustained by the temple. Here we have specifically concerned with the Rudrakanyas and Devadasis.
The impact of the temple communities. You can see the royal life of Rudrakanyas, who are people who gave their life for their guru, gave their life for Paramashiva, their Ishta Devata. So here you can see the role of the Rudrakanyas in Kailasa. Now, the impact of the temple communities, such impact on the temple communities on the great sacred order of the Kanyas and Devadasis. Rudrakanyas is the ancient tradition of sacred, powerful women who dedicate their lives to Paramashiva, the women. They are respected as they live extremely pious integrated life. As per the Kamika Agama, the sacred Hindu source books as revealed by Paramashiva himself, their position in the society is immediately after the king and the queen. They are held in high respect as they were the repositories of the 64 sacred arts of ancient Hindu culture. Devadasis, who were also well versed in the 64 arts, there to serve in the sins of the temples, the access of the temples, and were held next only to the Kanyas and positions in the society.
A Rudrakanya is a strong and sacred and powerful woman who embodied the principles, the cosmic principles of integrity and responsibility. In the most sacred scripture, the Kamikagama, the sacred Hindu text, that Bhagavan Paramashiva describes a Rudrakanya as a woman who is a true devotee and describes her features, her roles, her responsibility, and most importantly, her chastity to Paramashiva, which Bhagavan Paramashiva only initiates her into. And these exact lines are found from 346 to 350 of the Purva Pada of the Kamikagama, where it says that after the king, the queen, and the great authorities, Bhagavan Paramashiva instructs that it can be offered, any ritual, the Dhruva, can be offered to the Rudrakanyas.
After the king and the queen, the Rudrakanyas hold the next most responsible esteem, and these are directly the words of the source scriptures of Hinduism.
By the 17th and 18th century, the temple dancers, the Rudrakanyas, became denigrated to entertaining small chieftains, military lords, and Muslim rulers. And during the colonial rule, British officers of the Raj, or the rule.
The second pillar that was targeted for the destruction of the Hindu enlightenment systems were the destruction of the Vedic education system. Pictures that you are seeing on the left are all ruins of ancient Hindu universities and Buddhist monasteries where the Vedic learning was a part of education.
Now, the Gurukul is the most powerful knowledge transmission system. Bharata, the greatest center of the learning to the world in the ancient times, and it attracted students from all over the world, especially from Southeast Asia and China. Teachers from India traveled abroad to share their immense knowledge, and students competed even in the best of the universities. The foremost universities were Nalanda and Takshashila, and the Gurukul education was there in every village of India. But the British colonial rulers wiped it out in just a mere 85 years in the latter part of their rule. And it was replaced by clerk-making Macaulay education system.
Let us now see some of the examples of the total destruction of the great universities of Hinduism. First, see the example of the Nalanda University. Muhammad bin Bakhtiar Khilji burned Nalanda University. Said that 6 months this university was burned. Every Hindu source scripture, the palm leaf manuscripts, everything was burned, and there was an unending fire of 6 months of burning of all the great scriptures of Hinduism from the university.
Now, during the first wipeout, Khilji was done by Khilji in 1198 AD. Nalanda University was burnt to the ground. The student and faculty was massacred by tens of thousands, and 9 million manuscripts were burnt to ashes. And actually, it took 3 months for the fire to die down completely. Even if you imagine a forest fire, it doesn't even take 3 months for those to die down. That was the intensity of what was burning and how persistently, how they ensured that it was entirely lost.
So it was not 6 months, it took 3 months for the fire to die down.
Now, Khilji had fallen sick, and the doctors in his court failed to cure him. Then someone advised him to get himself cured by someone from the Nalanda University. And Khilji was too proud of his Islamic culture and refused to get himself treated by a person outside of his religion. But his health worsened, and he was left with no other option but to invite Badra from Nalanda. But Khilji put a condition and asked Badra to cure him without any medicine. Badra then asked Khilji to read some pages from the Quran as a remedy to his illness, and to everyone's surprise, Khilji was cured. Disturbed by the fact that an Indian scholar and a Hindu scholar and teacher knew more than the doctors of his court, Khilji decided to destroy the roots of knowledge of Buddhism and Ayurveda from the country. He set fire to the great library of Nalanda and burned it down.
Nearly 9 billion manuscripts and literally butchered students and the teachers of the university.
Now,
the breaking India's backbone, breaking of Hinduism's backbone, British, when they conquered civilization, a relentless campaign to gain control of trade, high taxation to fund wars, especially the World War I and II, looting of precious manuscripts and temple treasures, artificial famines that killed billions, partition of India in 1947 to 40, eradication of precious Gurukul education system, which was and is the very backbone of Hinduism. During the Portuguese war, the Portuguese invasion and war lasted for about 250 years.
Now, in Macaulay's while Dharmapal reported findings in submission to the British government, he said extremely astonishing things that give us insight into their strategic plan to destroy the Gurukul infrastructure. He said, "I have visited the length and breadth of India, and I did not find any beggar or unemployed in India. I have visited many places like Frankfurt, Chicago, Germany, Moscow, and London. All the places together do not have as much wealth as which is only in Surat of India has. If the British government wants to make India as its slaves, then it has to destroy her wealth, unity, and diversity. If we want to capture India, we have to destroy the education system of India." And he continued, "The literacy in England at the time was 17% and studied only the Bible And the statistics of India showed that 100% of South India and 98% of West India, 82% of East India, 87% of North and Central India, and in South India, 58% of students were girls. In 200,000 villages in India were the highest revenue. Every village had a Gurukul and temple, and one teacher was enough to run a whole school. Teaching was by a monitoring system. 18 subjects were taught, and including the mathematics, the astronomical sciences, the metallurgy, architectural sciences, the astrophysics, and the chemistry as well, all in the sacred Hindu science, the original Hindu sciences of each of these. And specialized universities were also only teaching metallurgy, civil engineering, etc. And students were judged according to their talent, not according to their role.
Now, the Macaulay's report, after the British action based on Macaulay-White's Dharmpal findings. After 7 days of deliberation, British officials said that if they want to rule over India, instruct the government in India to close all gurukuls by proving them illegal. The British implemented a law, an Indian Education Act, which made learning in regional languages illegal in our own country. English language was made compulsory in every group. 1840 to 1940, Britishers destroyed groups, set them on fire. Teachers on group killed. All this changed the education system of India, placing it with a system that churned out clerks and sepoys.
And here you can see the destruction of the Gurukul education system just as they had planned it. How in just a matter of a few years or just a matter of time, how the number of schools per the 10,000 population had drastically decreased. And how all over India, the number of schools, the number of Gurukuls, number of schools that are catering to the population of children is also decreasing.
Here you can see in various districts, the number of colleges in the various districts since in 1830, and so many gurukuls were there in pretty much every village, every town. Literacy rate was so high. During the British rule and after the British rule, we became such a poor, illiterate country. The schools were destroyed and forcibly the English education was thrusted upon us. And here you can see Lord Macaulay's subsequent letter on the success of the British strategy. It says, "My dear father, our English schools are flourishing wonderfully. The effect of this education on the Hindus is prodigious. No Hindu has received an English education ever continues to be sincerely attached to his religion. If our plans of education are followed up, there will not be a single idolater respectable classes in Bengal 30 years hence, and this will be effected without any efforts, paralyzed, without the smallest interference with religious liberty, merely by the natural operation of knowledge and election. I heartily rejoice in this prospect. The destruction of Gurukul led to the destruction of Hinduism, led to the destruction of Hindu system. And not just that, it was the destruction of temples, the destruction of gurus, ultimately the destruction of the sampradaya that had led to the destruction of Hinduism. So the third pillar that we are going to see is the destruction of the gurus and the Guru Sampradaya. How the anti-Hindu elements destroyed and is still attacking supreme of Let us now take a brief look at the attacks across the land of Supreme Court Holiness Bhagavan Nityananda Parashakti. A brief overview. As a part of the awareness that I share with you how anti-Hindu elements are destroying Guru-based ecosystem. So the main steps in executing the persecution against the Hindus, as we had shared, is that it's the 7 steps of the genocide: segregation and isolation, programmed confusion, exploiting the weaknesses, justification propaganda, silent assassinations through mob lynching, relentless persecution, denial and diverting the attention from the scene of the persecution, and continuous hate speech. His Divine Holiness was a victim of 100 mass assassination attempts. Which that you're seeing is a brutal assassination attempt where His Divine Holiness was locked inside his own quarters and his residence was set on fire, and this was live broadcasted on a national television channel. Not just that, using the social media fueled the fire of the fake news and mockery, used most brutally prevented people seeing that despite their sincere efforts by His Divine Holiness and his disciples. That on Supreme Court of that character assassination, hate speech, fake news, media madness, media violence, spreading the fake news and the false news. Brutal violence, demonizing Supreme Pontiff of Hinduism, absolute violation of human rights and religious rights. and who tell lies, cover up the atrocities. Character assassinations, illegal arrests, hundreds of false cases, ridiculing the very gender identity of the Supreme Pontiff in this country. Attack on the disciples and the community members and on Kailashis, followers of the Supreme Pontiff of India. Violence against women, attack on the female sannyasis and the Rudra Kanya Sampradaya, the members of the Indonesian, attacked, beaten, brutally brutalized, or summoned. Despite whatever was done on the Supreme Pontiff, the question here is, was it an attack on the Supreme Pontiff or was it a persecution of itself? That is the question. Was it an attack on the Supreme Pontiff or was it an attack on itself? It was an attempt to present to you attacks on itself, continuing up to the Supreme Pontiff of India, who is doing everything possible, the ultimate sarva parityaga, sacrifice, by into enlightened science, the Hindu enlightenment ecosystems, and bring it and the attention of the international attacks of the genocide done to the Hindus. Past 5,000 plus years of untold persecution on the Kailasa's attempt is into all of us. What has happened in history is a part of the constructs against man. Can you present food statistics and information on the Hindu cost and the Hindu persecution? Upcoming episodes of this conclusion of today's segment is informative by opening each Hindus stand collective, share this information with the Supreme Pontiff of this relentless work as successful, getting the Hindus to be recognized by the United Nations. The United Nations has recognized the persecution of the Supreme Pontiff of India by each and every one to share this information. This conclusion of this segment, and now we are entering in Kailash Kotia Power Manifestation session shortly. To people. Gacchate syatu vavasishyate shantihi hariho tatsat sarvam shri Raman Om
intensely. Enlightenment ecosystem, literally enlightenment itself, in your own home, wherever you are. If you cannot come to Kailasa, it's okay. Kailasa can come to you. Kailasa coming to you is E-Kailasa.
I will revive Hinduism. I am a Hindu revivalist, not by any revolution, but by evolution. And setting model community. Kailasas, enlightenment ecosystems, Sarvanya Peethas all over the world.
All powerful cognition, knowledge, only when you live, power manifestation and possibilities manifestation happens. It's a fundamental truth.
Hinduism cannot live exclusively as one sampradaya. No. All sampradayas of Hinduism is an ecosystem. So don't keep quiet thinking that if one sampradaya is attacked, only that sampradaya is going to be affected. All of us are ecosystem.
I invite all of you to get involved and enjoy Hinduism by the principle of Dharmo Rakshati Rakshitaha. When you protect Dharma, Dharma protects you.
We will make the whole planet flourish spiritually. The spiritual prosperity will happen to the whole planet. We all have to coexist together.
We get you health. We get you ability to build beautiful relationships in your life. We get you direct spiritual support, and we make sure you become wealthy. We won't stop giving you just good life. We will literally not stop till you live enlightened life. Manifesting the state of Paramashiva, space of Paramashiva, powers of Paramashiva, being of Paramashiva. Whole world should become E-Kailasians.
I want the whole world to know Hindus have something great to contribute to the world. We have something great to contribute to the world. Let us do that.
E-Kailasa is proper customized spiritual service helping you to identify your root patterns of suffering. We have perfected the science of helping every individual from every cultural, religious, nationality background. You will have lowest reactionary assumptions, highest awakened response, alive response for life continuously. E-Kailasa is enlightenment ecosystem, literally enlightenment itself in your own home, wherever you are. Proper customized spiritual service helping you to complete with your life negativity, withdrawal from life, self-hatred, self-denial, self-doubt, so much of tiredness, laziness. We can support you aligning your diet, your attitude, your aptitude, your understanding about life. We can help you with everything. If you are interested in enlightenment, we will immediately bring this to you. If you are not interested, we will explain the whole science, inspire you and make you interested in enlightenment science. We need to cater this enlightenment science to the whole world wherever they are, because enlightenment
Let's start with the Sadguru Vandanam. Nityanandam Paramasukhanam Kevalam Jnanamurtim Dvandvatitam Gaganasadusham Tattvamasya Laksham Ekam Nityam Vimalamachalam Sarvadi Sakshi Bhutam Bhavatitam Trigunarahitam Sadgurum Tam Namami. Let's go through the disclaimers. Security measures.
So I've added the ultimate powerfulness, Turyatita, in your whole being and doing. Manifest all the powers. Understand, power manifestation is nothing but cognitive shift. It is not work. It is cognitive shift. Understand? It is just cognitive shift. It's not work. Work is a 4-letter word. Power manifestation is cognitive shift, playing life, playing with being alive.
Beautifully, Bhagavan said, what is power manifestation? Power manifestation is the cognitive shift from the matter. We experience the consciousness, Paramashiva space, and it's a science. It's a science because it is repeatable and everybody can experience it. And the evidence is that it is a science. From human, we can experience the superconscious space manifesting the powers of Paramashiva. The evidence from the Shastra. The Shastra Pramana. the eternal unchangeable truth revealed in the source scriptures, the Vedas and the Agamas. Apta Pramana, the experience and the results of the Aptas, the Rishis, Munis, Ganas, Nayanamas, Alvars, Siddhas, all of them experience all the powers of Paramashiva, which is authentic, time-tested, scientific and foolproof. Atma Pramana, account of His Divine Holiness, Bhagavan Nityananda Paramashivam, this millennium's avatar's personal experience of power manifestation. Bhagavan's very own Leelas, mapping to the Shastra Pramana and Apta Pramana. Shakshi Pramana, the experience of the millions of disciple devotees, followers all around the world, manifesting the powers of Paramashiva. Bhagavan's very own Leelas, manifesting in each one of us as our reality. Bhagavan beautifully says, whoever comes to the Kailash courtyard manifesting power group, simply my presence will be there and each one can experience me and the reality that I am Paramashiva. Pratyaksha Pramana, the scientific study measuring the effect of being in the enlightened state. When we measure when the power manifestation happens and when we measure their state of the mind, where the thoughtlessness, 0 thoughts per second is measured in the balasans, in the devotees, in Bhagavan, again and again, repeating that space of oneness as our reality. And more we exist in that space. We are in the enlightened space of consciousness. Beautifully, Bhagavan has given the Shastra Pramana. Shastra Pramana is from the Vijnana Bhairava Tantra, Vijnana, for the power of remote vision. Vijnana is consciousness, Bhairava, one who experiences consciousness beyond the mind, and Tantra